I'm Lauren, for those who haven't met me. And I've been with Blushington for just going on 4 years. And when in store, I've been a lead trainer and I'm a senior artist. And I've been loving doing this virtual stuff. It's actually kind of fun to work from home. And some things I want to kind of get to know about you guys, talk to you guys about when it comes to your beauty routine. So this class, of course, is beauty in your 20s. But of course, if this translates to all ages, it's just that some of the things about being in your 20s are special, that once you start to age out of that, you'll see. But what I tell people in their 20s is like the world of makeup possibilities, it's completely open to you. So there's really not much that you can't like try, wear, bold eyes, bold lips, matte lips, glitter, shimmer, galaxy look, you know, highlight, strobing, baking, like the world is kind of your oyster when it comes to beauty. And in your 20s is a fun time to kind of express yourself with your makeup. It's a fun time to experiment. And I recommend everybody experiment. So that's like my first is try all of these fun things. They work and they look cool. My don't pair too many bold statements together. So that's a common mistake people make. But if you're doing like a very glittery eye, I mean, again, like depending on what you're doing and where you're going. But if you're doing a very like glittery eye, that may not be the day that you want to pair that with like, you know, a super like hot pink glossy lip. But it also may be, it all depends. Are you going to a show in Vegas? Are you going to a music festival? Or are you going out to dinner or on a first date? Those things can and will determine how to do your makeup. So that's another do and don't. Do be mindful of keeping your makeup tasteful. It will always make you look chic. It will make anything you try, even like there was the huge trend for a while of wearing black lipstick, and that is actually awesome and it looks really cool. But again, like be mindful of combining too many statements together and be mindful of wearing the appropriate makeup at the appropriate times. And when you do that, again, like you can be bold, think Rihanna, you know? Okay. So yeah, so do change it up. Don't fall into that routine just yet of like, I have my makeup, this is how I do it every single day. Part of the fun of being like young is like, you can change up your look. You can cut your hair short, like Malia. You can, you know, like I love that. Like, is it short or is it just up? Maybe it's just up, but it looks like you have a short haircut and I love it. Yes. Oh, that's funny.
Is my mic muted? Was it muted? Oh, yeah, it's just up.
I thought you just
had a
pixie cut. I was like, I love it. But you know,
I had one.
Yeah. Oh, I love that too. But yeah, you can change. Again, it's like in your 20s, you'll change your hair color. You can cut your hair short. You can wear your hair long. It's like there's so many options, and you don't want to fall into a rut with makeup, wearing everything the same every single day. You also don't want to end up in a scenario where like you're wearing like a really heavy look every day to work, because again, makeup is personal, and the whole reason why we wear makeup is really to make us feel great about ourselves and confident. And so you don't want to lose that by changing your makeup. But what you do want also is to be seen and heard as a woman, and you want to be taken seriously. So that's something, unfortunately, that we do kind of have to be mindful about when choosing our makeup. But so I'm just going to kind of explain what I did today. It's almost nothing. And maybe it looks that way on your camera. I don't know, because we all have different lighting. But a really simple, fast routine to do like daily is I'm going to teach you some of the brands I've been using. So this is Herborian. It's gray, but it looks a little blue in my light. It's a CC cream, and similar to BB cream, which is beauty balm. It has like 5-in-1. It has primer, sunscreen, serum ingredients, skin coverage, and am I missing something? Yeah, I think that's, and it gives like a high definition blur. So this is something that we carry on blushington.com, and it's one of my favorite like life-changing products. They have several different ones and different colors, but again, this is like my holy grail. And I have rosacea, which if you've seen it, you know, but this really does a good job of covering without looking like anything heavy. And that's what I like. I like to look fresh and natural, but not totally bare. So all you do is kind of rub that together and put that everywhere. And whatever foundation or product you're using, you just want to be conscientious of your skin texture underneath the product and how that product matches with your skin. So if you are a little dry and you really like using a full coverage foundation or a matte full coverage, if you mix a little bit of that full coverage with some moisturizer and put that on with a beauty blender, you'll still get that full coverage effect, but it won't have any texture to it. So if your skin's dry underneath, it's not gonna like suction to that dry skin and show texture. And again, like there's all kinds of video tutorials and stuff out there. One of my don'ts is don't watch it sounds crazy, but don't watch irrelevant beauty videos when it comes to your face shape and your eye shape, because that is a mistake that a lot of people make. I used to make that a lot. I would see people on videos and try so hard to create a look that they were doing, and then kind of realize that maybe it's not working, and that may be because I have a totally different shaped eye. Like winged liner doesn't look amazing on me, you know. And so so one of my do's is do enlist the help of an expert. When you do like some one-on-one time with an expert makeup artist that you trust, what will happen is you'll be able to get an exact foundation match. So you won't have that issue that so many people have, and you know, you've all seen it on other people, a totally unmatching foundation. You'll be able to have somebody that can kind of teach you the exact right products for you, the exact best way to apply them, and the way to bring your own unique beauty features out. Because there are different eye shapes, and then there are different ways that the eyes sit in your eye socket. There are different face shapes. Everybody's is different. Everybody's is unique. Even some like twins, there are still differences. So that is a definite do. Like now is the time. one thing I would say is do invest in a good set of tools, brushes, stuff like that. The brushes that we use at Blushington, I actually think are excellent. It's a Bedelium brush set, and instead of buying like, you know, different brushes from all different brands, let's say, I actually love this set of brushes, and it's way cheaper than buying like this this brand's one that goes with their foundation and this brand's one that goes with their eyeshadow palette. It's also, they're all static, so it lasts. At the same time, it can take a much deeper cleanings, and you can use them wet or dry. So, and they're really pretty. They're like a pink bamboo. So these, I have to say, like, I use these in my own kit for myself, and I use them in my professional kit. So I would say invest in some good tools, because you need that. Just like anybody here, if you're an artist, you know, like there's a difference between like the dollar store colored pencils and the I forget what they're called, but like, I don't see mine, but you know, they're like ones that are like for artists. And it's just things like that. You will have such a better application when you're using good tools. Don't invest your money in a ton of anti-aging products. You don't really need them yet. What you do need is a good skincare routine, and you need good sunscreen. Right now, you don't need like, you know, $150 bottle of, you know, like anti-aging serum and night creams kind of thing. So those are my do's and don'ts with that. When it comes to like figuring out what to invest your money in, definitely invest it in like a good, doable, healthy skincare regimen. And then you want to invest it in good tools. And the most important thing anti-aging that you can purchase and use is sunscreen. 100%. You have everything your skin needs right now to look amazing. You don't need extra help with that. What you do need is sunscreen to help preserve it. Yes, okay. So we carry a couple of different eye creams at Blushington. My one favorite that I love, that I use on everyone, is Beauty RX. This is a gentle exfoliating eye cream. And God, you really can't see here. And this is from our clinical skincare brand. So this is actually made by a New York City dermatologist that we work very closely with. Why I like this is that it has a very small touch of glycolic to it. So for many people, using under eye cream, they tend to get what's called melia, and it's a tiny little like fat deposit, and that can be from the richness of certain eye creams. Now, the younger you are and the less dryness and lines and all of that you have under your eyes, the less rich of a product you need. But it is good to use a little something, because it's like one area that doesn't really get exfoliated, and it also doesn't really get like the same moisture as the rest of your face. So I do think using an eye cream is worthwhile, but that's my favorite one for all ages, but especially like when you're younger and you don't need something really heavy. Now, we also have a great brand called Supergoop, and they have one that has sunscreen in it. So I also recommend that to people who are really concerned about the sun. It's also really good for kind of keeping your skin even, so that when the rest of you is being protected, the melanin here is also being protected. So those are my two favorite, but again, we also have a great one that's a completely organic brand. And that one is a little bit heavier, but it is wonderful. So yeah, so I would definitely recommend checking out the Beauty RX, the exfoliating eye cream. So I'm just gonna kind of walk you quickly through like just a simple daily routine. So I did the, whatever your base is, you wanna put that on, starting in the center of the face, spreading it outward, and you really wanna make sure that you're getting it all the way here and all the way back behind your ear, and just diffusing it down and out. Then the same thing kind of goes for, sorry, my dogs are barking. I got distracted for a moment. Okay, so then next, what I like to do is a color correction. And I'm actually gonna show you exactly how to do that. This does like a 2-in-1 kind of thing. It's correcting discoloration under my eye, and it's also correcting and evening out the skin color over my eyelid and up to my brow. And then it's also setting the eyes for eyeshadow. So I'm really teaching you like how to elevate like a daytime look to evening. So I'm using a Stila color correction palette. Now I'm just giving everybody a little forewarning for time's sake. I'm not gonna go into every single like detail about every single product and how to use it. But again, like anybody that wants like a real one-on-one, this is my passion. So just get in touch with Blushington, go to blushington.com and let them know the prices are super, super reasonable for one-on-one sessions. So I'm just gonna show you now. I'm using a beauty blender, and it comes with a little cheat sheet on the back. But for people like my skin tone, we're gonna be using this warm peach color. Darker skin tones, you can use that orange, and you can kind of put a little foundation on top. And if you're like very fair, you can use this light pink. But so I'm just taking it on one end, and this is a really quick way to do things too. So I'm taking that, and then you just want to put this in that, just under the eye, just in that little
Is
circle.
that liquid or powder?
It's actually a cream. These 5 on
Okay.
top are creams, and these 2 are powders on the bottom. One is kind of like, if you know, like a banana powder. One of them is like a lavender brightening powder. So what this does is it just erases, because it's counteracting discoloration. So it really just erases it with very little product necessary. And it looks much more natural in person than concealer does. And this is how the experts do it. You know, this is how makeup artists do it. So, okay, so and I like to get it all the way in there, like, because you can see, like I've got darkness there. So you want to go all the way in there. Okay, and then just kind of buff where the edges are. And now I do have a touch of shadows from my lights, but you can kind of see it just from one side to the other. It just erases the discoloration and the unevenness. So now I'm gonna dip the Beauty Blender right onto this yellow powder. Now, if you're very fair and like on the sallow side, or as fall and winter's coming, you're gonna get more sallow, definitely go for the lavender powder. That's what I use like most of the year, except right now when I have a little bit more of a tan, I'm using this yellow. So this, I'm just stamping right on top of the color corrector on the top part of my eyes. Now, I am not in my 20s, so I do not powder under my eyes. I don't love powder under anyone's eyes, but generally in your 20s, that's like one of the few times in life you can get away with powdering under your eyes where it's not going to create any definition of any lines. So that's how I set the top. And then to set the bottom, I use a little of my Slay All Day setting spray and just spritz that, and then just kind of press that out, almost no pressure. I'm just kind of touching it to the under eye. And that also helps to redistribute a little moisture under there, so it really looks undetectable. So you can see from the difference from one eye to the other, it's pretty intense. So now on this side of my face, what I did was a very simple daily routine. That is my bronzer in the crease and blush right over the lid and in the crease a little bit. It's like a really simple way to just look polished and have some color in your face and not be walking around looking like tired or, you know, like having other parts of your face distracting, like under eye circles. You know, it all depends on who you are and what your life is like. Some of us have really bad under eye circles. Some of us have really puffy under eyes. So just adding like a little color is a lot. But I'm going to show you how to make like this look kind of go into a quick but chic evening look. So normally I would take bronzer and a fluffy brush. This is Bdellium 785, and put that in the crease, right? Now, if you have a deep set eye, or you have a hooded lid, or a monolid, you want to, instead of going right into your crease, you want to look straight ahead into the mirror and almost apply it like you're drawing a circle around your eye. And that is going to give you the same look as somebody that has a defined crease. So now what I'm doing, so I'm just going to show you that really quickly. I'm going to use my favorite bronzer. This is Galactic, and it's a matte bronzer. And I'm just taking a little swirl on the brush, and I'm just doing it in that crease area. So again, that's kind of how you want to do that daily makeup look. And it's like just enough to give you a little something. This is perfect for like going to class, going to work, you know, meeting up with like friends, neighbors, going for a walk, whatever, you know, nothing too wild and crazy. And you always want to blend really well. Blending, best way to blend is back and forth, back and forth. Everything about professional makeup artistry involves control over the placement of the product and blending really well. So you really want to make sure that you don't lose control over where your product goes. So then the next thing that I would do is take my Becca my Becca Luminous blush, which I adore. And I'm just taking, again, a little bit on my brush and putting that right over the eyelid. Now, once you get these techniques down, you can do this with any colors, any kind of look. But blush is flattering to every eye color, every shape. every skin tone. So that's the basic eye. Now to do like kind of an elevated look, I'm taking my Jouer Rose Gold Matte and Shimmer palette, which looks amazing on every skin tone. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this pink color, and you always wanna knock off what's on excess on your brush. You never wanna blow on it. But so this is like a fun little fall, like daytime to nighttime, but still looking cool and chic. So again, that's going in the same kind of placement zone as the bronzer originally went. And this looks good. I mean, this is like a fun look to do for, like if you're going to, I mean, of course, right now, a lot of things are closed, but let's just pretend this is a fun look for like a night out, for like going to a charity event when you're all dressed up and you want a little drama, but you still want to look chic. So that kind of goes in the crease. Then I'm actually, just for like neatness, because my skin is already done, I'm gonna take my finger, my ring finger, and I'm gonna get it on this darker color. It's called Rosewood, and it's almost like a reddish, a brownish, chocolatey red. So I'm gonna get some of that. And sometimes when you're working with really dark colors or really shimmery or glittery colors, working on your finger is actually a really great way to do it, because you can kind of stamp the color on. So you get like a deeper pigment, you don't have to blend a million layers, but you also don't have to worry about fallout all over your skin. So I'm just putting this right onto the eyelid. And again, this is kind of like a smoky eye, but like young and modern and fall. Like, is it translating on camera? It's looking a little more red on my camera than in my mirror, but this, I still love this look. All right, I'm gonna switch to this brush a little bit and just kind of pack that color on right there. Now this part is just going on the eyelid. Perfect, okay. Malia, I love you following. Yes, girl. Yeah, and this is another thing, like anytime you go with colors that have like a pink or red undertone, it's going to look good on every single skin tone, every single eye color. It's just like universally flattering. So now I'm just taking, I'm gonna take that same brush that I used before to blend, and I'm just blending. Now, this is a really important tip, because I can see a visible line from where that starts to where that ends. Anytime that you have a line that you want to blend, all you do is blend along the seam, along the line. That way you don't end up losing that placement. Remember, we talked about that control. So I'm just blending it along that line so that the two kind of fade into one another. There we go. And then what I'm gonna do is take a clean brush, and now I'm gonna blend where that mid-tone color is from up to here. I'm gonna blend along that line. So that's really like muted and soft, so that the eyeshadow has a really nice gradient, okay? Okay, so I hope this is translating on camera to some degree anyway. But okay, so once you have that done, then let's see. I'm just gonna put a little touch of a little brown in that crease area. Okay. And blending is really important. Again, that back and forth motion is it's the most seamless way to blend something. Okay, so once that's done, you're just going to, and this is like literally how simple it is. You're gonna curl your eyelashes, which I always think is really important. So gonna curl the lashes. And if you really want a great curl, if you kind of lift your hand straight up while you're curling. Awesome. And I'm using the Kevin Aquan lash curler. Love Kevin Aquan and his products. So now I have a Petite and Pretty mascara. And I'm just applying that. And while I do it, I'm also kind of blinking my eye, and I like to kind of twirl. If you can see, I twirl the brush this way in my hand. So what I'm doing is almost like when a hairstylist is blowing out your hair and they're twirling the brush. It gives a little extra impact to the curl. And the same thing goes with the same thing actually goes with when you start blinking your eye a little bit. So you want to do your mascara. And another thing that I really love is kind of fanning out the lashes. Now, again, a lot of people love the look of faux lashes, and faux lashes are great. But if you're not are you using a heated lash curler? Yes. See, Malia knows that. Have I taught you before, Malia? You know all my secrets.
I'm a professional makeup artist. That's why.
Oh, there you go. Yes, yeah. That's like the other, what do you call it? That's the other like super duper life changer product. But so once you get that on, and then I like to do the bottom. Okay. So once you do that, then of course I'm going to, on talking to you, do my heated lash curler too, because I think it is a life changer. So once you do this, what you could do is like bump up your, I hate that term, but like that's literally what you would do, is just bump up your bronzer and blush application, and you could give yourself a little contour if you want. You can see that's such a huge difference. This is like one of my absolute favorite tricks ever. So once you do this, right? Okay, I've said that like 5 times. So, okay, so once you're done with that, now again, if you want to put on a false lash, you can. I don't usually do it on myself unless I'm doing individuals, but just keep in mind, it takes time, it takes practice, a lot of practice to get a good job going on yourself. And that is something that is really helpful to have a professional teach you. It's also really helpful to have a professional help you figure out what is the best lash for your eye shape and your face shape. Because there are different lash styles, lengths, thicknesses. Some are for volumizing, some are for lengthening, and you really want to make sure that you're using the one that's the most flattering to you. So, okay, so now we're gonna add a little bit more bronzer. And actually, I'm gonna show you a quick contour using this shadow palette. When you contour, it's not the same thing as bronzing. You wanna use two separate products. Your contour color should be similar to a shadow color. It needs to have a gray undertone. So you're still gonna use kind of a bronzy, but with a grayish undertone, and that goes for all skin tones. So here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a small brush, and I'm gonna take this lightish kind of brown, get a little on there, knock off the extra, and then where I want this to go is just at the base of my cheekbone, not underneath. And I don't want it to come in that much further than this outer part of my eyebrow. So again, small strokes. And I'm not spreading it everywhere because what I'm trying to do again is I'm creating more of a shadow. So from that side to that side, there's some definition. And again, like be mindful of the lighting that you're gonna be in. So sometimes like what happens is you love your makeup and then you go out and you're at a nightclub and you take pictures and you're like, I look like I have no makeup on, or my face looks so pale. So be aware, certain scenarios like the lighting and certainly anything with a flash photography is gonna kind of wash you out. So you may need a slightly heavier application. Okay. But in daytime, don't go so heavy on the contour because it's not meant to be obvious. It's not meant to be seen. The other thing is like if you're doing here, see how this is humility, people. See how I already have this chin line right here? I don't want to accentuate that by adding any more color. So I'm almost taking it from here and kind of drawing, this is embarrassing, but you get it, kind of drawing that line back. And I'm doing a very quick demonstration. This is not like my perfected version, but that's just to give you an idea, oh my gosh, of kind of like how it should look, as opposed to like, you're not painting from here down or from here down a different color. So just gonna add a little bit more bronzer right on top of the cheekbone. Again, I'm using my Galactic. So again, now this, you don't wanna muddy this color with your bronzer. So you're literally doing it almost like right above it. And don't forget to bring your bronzer like up and around. This is important. And again, see, I'm not bringing it so far down. That's not really what you want to do with your bronzer. Okay, bring it around here a little bit. Of course, you want to always make sure that you get the underneath, and always be aware that like you're also always going to be shaded right here because your chin and your face naturally shades you from the sun right there. So that's a spot that often needs some bronzer. So, okay, so added a little more bronzer. And then a little more blush. Now blush, everybody has their different theories, but my theory for blush is that it needs to go on the upper apple of your cheek, no lower than the bottom of your nose. Yep, see, Malia's agreeing with me. And I like to just use light strokes. I'm using the Becca blush again. And this Becca blush is super pigmented, but what's nice is that it has a shimmer in it. So it already has almost like a little built-in highlighter, which I love. So once you have that done, now I'm also just, I don't like that the color moved in there a little. So I'm just taking my beauty blender, and I'm just kind of sticking it in there again a little bit, and then going like that. The Beauty Blender is an amazing like blending airbrushing tool. And if you have close set eyes or a really hooded lid, sometimes you do want to keep that inner space really, you want to keep that inner space kind of clean and light and not bring too much of your crease color in there, because it can make the eyes look a little bit closer together, or it can also draw attention to the hood instead of pulling the eye up and out. So we've got that. And then the last little step is one of my favorites. This is the Kevyn Aucoin Glass Glow Lift. It's got like an iridescent opal kind of look to it. So this is going right on my lips. This also has like a blue tone to it, which I love. And so it helps like make the teeth look extra white. But here's what we're gonna do. I'm taking a Kevyn Aucoin lip pencil. This color is Blood Roses. It can go like from super, super dark to the way I'm gonna do it, which is more like a stain. I'm just, let's see. I'm actually like using it to shade in my lips. So now I have this nice berry colored glossy lip, and with this iridescence, which I don't know if you can see on camera. The other thing I'm gonna do is take a little bit of this on the back of my hand, and I'm gonna take some with my pinky, and I'm actually gonna put it right on top of this eyeshadow, right on the lid. And this is like a really kind of super chic way for your 20s to do a bold, smoky eye, but give it a little translucence, a little trendiness, and it looks really cool. Like, ooh, thanks, Danielle. It looks really cool, like going out at night. It's different, but it's like, it's still young and fun. But this is what I'm talking about like keeping it chic, like keep it interesting, keep it young, wear a glittery eye. Like there are all different ways to do stuff like this. And sometimes when you do this, you'll be like, oh, I need more blush. I'm actually gonna put a little of this, and they make a larger size that's like a body one, body and face. I don't have that, so I just do the lip gloss for everything, but you can also put the body and face one on your lips as well. But I'm just gonna add a little bit of this here to give me that like really glossy, kind of glassy, like slightly iridescent shimmer all around. And that is a fun makeup in your 20s. Like, I hope I gave you guys enough do's and don'ts. I know I went way over time, but there were things I just really didn't want to skip. So again, if you want personalized classes, just email blushington.com and let them know. And you can choose me or you can choose one of my colleagues. Everybody's little bio is there. I had such a good time with you guys. I want to thank you again for coming out and spending your time with me. And I hope everybody learned something really fun and helpful. And you guys can follow me if you want on Instagram. My Instagram is Lauren Serra Makeup Artist. And I look forward, yes. Yeah, thank you guys again so much for joining this class. I look forward to seeing you guys at other classes. Now, The next few classes I'm doing are also different ages, so it might not totally work for you, but you're still welcome to join. And I believe that the link for that is, where is that, Blushington? I think that the link for that is in the chat, or it's on the follow-up email that you'll receive. Again, everybody will get a follow-up email, I believe. Oh, yep, it's in the chat. Okay. So, but again, DM me anytime, any questions, any product shopping questions. Another great thing on blushington.com is they have a concierge on there now. Her name is Ella, and she can do actual like personal shopping for you, personal color matching if you're unsure of what color to choose for yourself, like when it comes to some product. And I can also do that for you as well. So thanks again. Your discount code 20% off is Lauren, all caps 20, number 20. And that's it. You guys were the best. Have a great night.